The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs, the hail crossed your market, and the phone will not stop. You hired closers, and now a representative is promising the carrier will pay and the deductible will vanish. Never let a representative promise that. It is illegal. The work floods in. So does the exposure. By the end of this, you'll know how to build a restoration team in 5 keys, in the order that saves you the most trouble. Restoration is not retail with a different pitch. It's a different operating model. With a legal line, a representative should never decide on instinct. Start with why restoration strains a retail crew. In retail, the homeowner is your payer. They pick a budget, you build, they pay. In restoration, an insurer funds most of the work. A servicer may hold the check, and depreciation gets withheld until you finish. Depreciation is the aged-down portion of the roof's value. The money cycle is longer and more crowded, so you don't staff for the sale. You staff for the record and the handoff, because that's where these jobs fail. Key 1. Define exactly where your team's claim involvement stops. It's the smallest thing to write down and the easiest to ignore in the field. A contractor can inspect, photograph and date conditions, scope a repair, price it, build it, and answer questions about its own work. The trouble starts the moment a representative tells a homeowner what the carrier must pay, negotiates the claim, or signs over the homeowner's benefits. Pricing your own work is fine. Negotiating someone's claim is not. Memorize that line. This is not theory. The courts keep drawing the line in writing. In Texas, the Lawn Smith case held that a roofer who negotiated a homeowner's claim acted as an unlicensed public adjuster, and it voided the contract. In Iowa, a federal judge upheld a law barring contractors from adjusting roofing claims. And in 2025, Louisiana advanced a bill to bar roofers from helping with claims at all. The day you negotiate coverage, you're a public adjuster without a license. So document, never diagnose the claim. 2 rules belong on every rep's first day. First, the deductible. Never offer to waive, rebate, or absorb a homeowner's deductible. It is illegal in many states and treated as insurance fraud. The homeowner owns it. A representative who says we'll take care of it is a representative you let go. Second, assignment of benefits, the clause that signs a homeowner's claim rights over to a contractor. Commissioners warn that once it's signed, the insurer may talk only to you. Florida banned it on post-loss policies after January 2023. Many companies just prohibit it. Staying on the right side of the line doesn't mean canvassing blind. Knocking a street of brand new roofs wastes the day and trains the neighborhood to see a chaser. So target the homes a storm most plausibly wore out. That's not claims work, it lives inside the boundary. Pick the right houses, skip the new roofs, time a mailer to the streets the storm crossed, re-engage your old list. You knock people who plausibly have a real problem with a truthful reason to be there. Precision while the chasers knock blind. Key 2. Staff a documentation role before you add another salesperson. Most jobs that go sideways don't fail in production. They fail in the record. Photos with no date sequence. A scope that changed 3 times with no version anyone can name. When the depreciation release stalls or a supplement gets questioned, there's nothing clean to send. A supplement is added scope you found after the first estimate. The documentation lead doesn't decide coverage. The job is contractor-side records, complete, dated, and version controlled. A discipline, not a judgment call. Here's why that hire pays for itself. On a replacement cost policy, the carrier first pays actual cash value, the replacement cost minus depreciation, and the deductible. It releases the held-back depreciation only after you prove the work is done. If your photos are incomplete or undated, that release stalls, and sometimes the homeowner never collects it. One stalled release can erase the margin a closer fought to win. Same with supplements. The documentation lead doesn't negotiate it. It captures the rotted decking the moment it's exposed and makes it provable. Key 3. Give the homeowner one clear lane and never pretend to be their insurance company. After a storm, that person is juggling a leak, an unfamiliar claim, and a deductible they didn't budget for. The Consumer Bureau tells them to call their insurer to file. Your lane reinforces that path, it doesn't replace it. The clean script is short. We documented what we saw, and we'll give you a written scope. We can't decide what your policy covers. For coverage, depreciation, and your deductible, call your insurer. Most restoration friction is timing friction. A homeowner assumes a signed contract means cruise tomorrow. In reality, the check may be issued jointly to the homeowner and the mortgage servicer, who releases funds in stages as the work progresses. So the first material order can wait on a servicer inspection 2 weeks out. The team that explains this up front looks competent. The team that doesn't looks like it's hiding something. Send a short written recap after every visit. What you inspected, what's next, what to ask the carrier. Key 4. Bake safety and code readiness into the model, instead of bolting it on. Storm season pressures crews to move fast, and fast is when roofers get hurt. They tarp wet leaks on steep slopes after wind events when the decking may be compromised. Falls from roofs and ladders are a leading cause of construction deaths. Make safety a decision someone owns, not a hope that crews use good judgment. Federal fall protection rules set the floor. Write the stop work triggers down, and a rep's tarp promise can't override the field. Code lives next to safety with the same boundary. A code requirement is a contractor scope fact, not an automatic insurance outcome. You can document that local code requires a deck replacement when sheathing fails inspection. You don't get to tell the homeowner the carrier will pay for it. Matching is the same trap. When old shingles can't be matched, some states require more than a patch. Kentucky clarified a full roof can be required. Florida approved forms that limit it. Your inspector says, here's the condition, ask your carrier. Document, then route. Key 5. Organize the team around handoffs, not titles. The weak plan invents big titles. Director of Claims, VP of Restoration. That's theater. The strong plan maps the 5 lanes a job moves through. Intake and qualification, inspection and documentation, estimate and scope support, production and customer coordination, finance and records. In a small company, one person owns 3 lanes. The point isn't headcount. At every step you name, who owns the next move and what record proves the last. When a job stalls, you name the stuck lane in seconds. Track the cash by stage, because restoration money stalls in places retail never sees. A deductible from the homeowner. An actual cash value first payment. A depreciation holdback released only after completion. A servicer endorsement. Watch receivables by stage, not just by total, so you see what's waiting on which party. Then, measure the process you control. Time from first call to inspection. The share of jobs with a complete dated photo set. An assigned scope. No invented benchmarks. Just the numbers that show where your operation leaks. Here's where Roof Predict fits and where it doesn't. It pairs an estimated roof age range with storm physics modeled per individual home to score which roofs a storm likely wore out, so your canvas and mail go to homes actually do instead of brand new roofs. And it gives the team one place to keep inspection findings, photos, and job status. It does not inspect, diagnose damage, certify roof life, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not a date. The roof still earns the job. Close the loop. Restoration is a documentation first, handoff-driven operation with hard legal guardrails. Define where your claim involvement stops. Staff documentation before the next closer. Give the homeowner one honest lane and never touch the deductible. Bake in safety and code so a sales promise can't override the field. Organize around handoffs, not titles. The team that wins storm work for a decade is the one whose paperwork survives a deposition. Build the 5 keys in that order, and you're still standing after the chasers move on.